Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is the second of two sessions of games set that I've set in Star Wars. It was originally created system settings, not, it's not system neutral, it's a system, it's an RPG. What am I saying? Setting neutral. Maybe from the like typography and some of the vibe, maybe a little Star Trekky, but it works well enough for our purposes. It's called Space Aces, and it is a brilliant lightweight game that I think is really cool. It was originally created as like a one-page deal, and all kinds of supplements and a Kickstarter and all these other things happened for Space Aces. And I downloaded all of it, the whole like earlier iterations to later, which friends for me is very interesting but also problematic of like, wait, which rules? But I've got it because there's one collected version called the new guidebook, which is a 28-page PDF and is pretty darn cool. So Space Aces is not only lightweight but lighthearted. And I say this to say this. This Space Aces game it's a very different from my normal Star Wars Saturdays type of game from a tone or expectations, in that normally with Star Wars Saturdays, I try to play the game so that it slides into like a live action-ish show. Maybe Mandalorian, maybe something along those lines. But the tone that I'd like to continue, so I definitely hit it in our first session, is the vibe of something that's a little bit more like an animated series. So doesn't mean that it's G-rated per se, does mean that it's a little more cartoony, a little more potentiality of going off the rails, a little bit more like the original Star Wars comics that Marvel put out in like 78, where, trust me, friends, if you've read them, they're wild. Some incredibly creative things, some I can't believe that was in Star Wars moments. So I'm open to that, is what I'm saying. It's not an expectation you have to go goofy. I'm saying that the spectrum is broad, and that is what I'm saying. So it's PG-ish game is the general tone, but also we do have lines, veils, and ask firsts. We have those defined in our character keeper. And then, hey, if we hit something where we were going for something and it just got offensive, feel free to X card. Don't worry, not going to hurt anybody's feelings. Our safety and enjoyment of the game is way more important than any broken attempts at humor. So let's be mindful of those safety tools. Unfortunately, Danielle is unable to join us for the second half of this series. Hope everything's working out for you. And I believe she's working. So I hope your workday goes well and fun. We're definitely having fun in your absence. Sorry about that. Let's have everybody remind us of the characters and players. So start from the right-hand side of our character keeper, heading towards the left. Kai, lead us off, introduce yourself, tell us about your character.
Hello, I'm Kai. I use they, them pronouns. So does Lena, the person in my background. They are Zabrakian, Zabrakish, Zabrian, they are from Zabrak. And their horns are being hidden by their cool hair. Their skill is Droid Savant. And they are often brave, often confused, and have a foul temper. Their previous job was interning at a Sith temple. That didn't quite work out for them. They have a lot of moxie, not a lot of smarts, and they have one grit checked.
I kind of imagine that, like, as you explained that you once interned at a Sith temple, there's a moment of maybe dark boots, and it's like we see someone getting force choked and they fall to the ground, and then behind we see Lena who's like, I'm out. Like, yeah, No more. Is that the vibe of the Sith Temple? Is that an appropriate cut to?
Well, I mean, they tried working through the system, right? They went to their boss and they're like, I'm a little concerned with the activities that are going on here. And then
HR department? We don't have an
right,
HR department.
right. When they found that the system didn't work for them, they were like, maybe not. Maybe not.
Nice. Thank you so much.
But
next
up, they
oh.
have to good standing, so they might still have the ability to go back if they have to.
Did you for real work out you worked out a 2-week notice?
Yeah. I don't burn bridges. I don't burn bridges unless you get me angry. So there we go. I'll shut up now.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. Steven, you're up.
Hi, my name is Steven. My pronouns are he, him. And today I'm playing Jux Rig, or Lucky, who also has the pronouns he, him. He's an Ardenian, or however you say that. That's one of the guys with like 4 arms from the Solo movie. And Lucky is a fun prankster. He's greedy, trying to get as much stuff as he can, and does a lot of things all at the same time. And his skill is in cooking and hospitality. So he's kind of the face, I'm going to make sure everybody's happy here.
Indeed. And last but not least, Anders, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Hello, I'm Anders. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Ken Kogilniak, who is a Rhodian who uses she, them pronouns. Her skill is the hunt. She's really into the Rhodian hunt concept. She doesn't really know a lot about it because her parents, they were not. They were, by Rhodian standards, they were hippies who didn't care about that sort of thing. And but she's really, really fascinated by it. So she's trying to figure out what is this hunting? How do you do it? Yeah.
Love it. I love how well Kev made everything into a hunt in our last session. It was very entertaining. Cool.
Felt a bit, sometimes I almost felt like I was cheating, but then some of the other players talked me into it. But this is a hunt, so it wasn't just me, at least.
No, not at all. That was team effort on maximizing hunt capabilities. In last session, the 4 of you, your crew, were sent off to retrieve Fizzbliz, a furcore rock band, and you escorted them after a few trials and travails to the planet known as Aderlon. Now, friends, I do want to remind you or point out to you, there's a new tab in the Character Keeper called the Minos Cluster. As everyone quickly goes, oh, wait, over to the far right, there is a tab called the Minos Cluster. In the Minos Cluster tab, it's a cool little map of the Minos Cluster, which has a number of planets. You are currently, as we begin this game, on Aderlon. You've just dropped off Fizzbliz, gotten the bleep on your data unit that you've been paid by the app that you use to work all of your gigs. Aderlon was colonized 250 years ago. It's located on the Rima trade route, which means that it attracts many tourists. It is known for its music and holographic entertainment. So it's kind of space Bollywood. Not only that, it is currently considered like the hub for the Minos cluster of the governmental offices for the New Republic. So it's kind of a big deal. There are a number of amusement parks. There are hollow, like franchise-based amusement industries here. There's a hashtag not Disney World type activity. And if you guys remember, you had dropped off Fizzbliz at the, oh man, I can't even remember the name of it. I've got to go grab it. It was the pleasure, super pleasure. I'll find it. Give me a second, unless somebody can remember. It was. It's worth my 2 minutes of looking up. Maybe not 2 minutes, but will feel like it to me. Let me grab that from my notes from last session. They have asked me, dropped off at the Stardust Super Pleasing Pleasure Park. There we go. I knew there was a bunch of alliteration going on there. The Stardust Super Pleasing Pleasure Park. So you have just successfully dropped off Fizzbliss. What are those? We get a brief moment of either, like, I'd like for each of you to give me a glimpse as the credits are rolling. We've seen the little bits of each of you as you were introduced, and this is this is a follow-on from something with Fizzbliss, or it's the very next thing that you're doing before a gig is dropped onto you. So I want to know, Jux, aka Lucky, what do we see? What's the camera catch you doing? What's going on for you?
Yeah, so I think the camera is Lucky with Fizzbliss, and I think he's shaking all of their hands all at once with the multiple arms, and they're happy and kind of shaking, and they go off to do their show, and then we see Lucky kind of wander back to the ship, and he starts sweeping up all this debris from like their party days and their mess and all of that. And you see as he sweeps by one wall, one arm is like wiping it down and trying to wipe the crud off of it and stuff like that.
Nice. Oh, it's a sad cleanup stuff, huh? Oof. All right. What is it that we see Kim is up to?
Kim is in her cabin, and she has she's got a little folder because she got the autographs from the band last time. She tricked them into signing things, and I think what was the name of the Fizzatron?
Fizzatron, yeah. It's down
Fizzatron.
on row 17 now. But yeah, it was Fizzatron, absolutely.
Fizzatron, yeah. That's just like a footstep on a piece of paper. That's just like some goo or something that she put a piece of paper that he stepped on, and she saved that as his signature. He doesn't have any arms, or it doesn't have any arms. I don't remember its pronoun.
Whatever you say, sir, is Fizzatron's response
right.
about pronouns.
And she's putting these into the folder, and she's writing on the folder, and the code for the name, like the little this was job whatever was in the app and that sort of thing. She's putting it with her other folders for the other jobs. Very, very organized.
Nice.
And it's
Nice.
probably against the Star Wars canon, because I don't think there's paper in Star Wars, but whatever.
It's the animated adventures, so we can break whatever canon we want. When we flip through, do we see like what is one? No, do we? We do. What is one autograph that we see in Kim's book where we're like, oh my gosh, that's totally for the fans, fan service autograph there? What do we see?
Oh, some. What's his name? The like Western guy, bounty hunter. He was in.
Talking about the Duros, the blue guy.
Yeah.
Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Yes, you have Cad Bane's autograph. Oh man,
yeah.
It's worth a lot to people who know. That's awesome.
And is that page scorched along the edge or something?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's perfect. Awesome. And last but certainly not least, we come upon Lena. What is it that the camera sees Lena doing during our musical montage to catch up to you guys?
Lena has acquired a space box, which is a floating box for no reason, and has put all of the Fizzbliss media that they've owned, and has written a sign that says "Free to Good Home," and they're walking it off the ship and dropping off on a corner.
Oh man, That's harsh, but yeah, totally. I get it. I get that. Yeah, the Fizz Blizz super fan is no longer a super fan, huh?
Yeah, they're rather much a pendulum. They're constantly serial monogamous. They'll find somebody and stick to them until they're over with it and throw them away and go after something else. So they're on the lowercase h hunt for the next band. So
Well, I pity the next band. Awesome. So Lucky, you're finishing up the cleanup when you see that the I don't know, how do you guys get your gigs? Is it a thing that comes through the ship, or is it on directly your comm units? What do you think, Lucky?
I think that normally it comes through to the ship, and what we see, normally it comes through to Joe Cam, and I think Joe Cam then talks to the rest of us and says, maybe this is what's going on and where we meet up. So in this case, you're saying that a message is coming through?
Uh-huh.
I think that what's happened here is a message has come through and it's blinking, but Joe Cam's gotten another gig, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that whoever it is who's on the other end has been calling and calling, and then gets diverted at some point to like our personal or my personal like communicator, and so they've been on the equivalent of hold for a while.
That's great. So yeah, I don't think, should I nope, I shouldn't. So I think Kim, you will get the backup call, right? Because they thought Joe Kim was the reliable one. Then they thought Lucky was the next most reliable one. Now they're leaving it to the hunter, which will be you. So your comm unit starts to go off, and it's the particular code of new job. It's a gig alert. What do you do?
Yeah. Ken will answer. I think she will just reflexively answer in Rhodian at first, and I'm not going to try to speak Rhodian.
Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Then there's a pause.
Apologies. This is Ken Kogilniak of the. Did we have a name for the ship? Oh, the Hummingbird. Yeah, the LWSS Hummingbird.
Ah, good. Crew of the Hummingbird, this is your employer. We have a new opportunity for you, an exciting opportunity there in the Minos cluster.
Good. That's where we are.
Indeed. Please summon the remainders of the Hummingbird crew. You need to head to Eliad, a planet not far from where you are currently located. Your job is to exfiltrate the human female known as Far-Say. And you need to take her or drag her to Dazak.
Dazak, yes. Do you should we expect any resistance to this operation?
Yes. Good luck.
So no further details?
No. Good luck.
Very well. I hope we will be compensated in accordance with the regular rates.
Without a doubt.
May the
force be with you.
And with you. Thank you, I think.
click. So that is your full conversation.
yeah, Ken will go try to find the others and tell them we have a new job. We need to find someone on Iliad and get them to Dazak. It's possible someone will try to stop us.
There you go. So the summary is that Larse is a human female on the planet of Eliad. You need to retrieve her and take her to the planet of Dazak. As you guys are en route, right? Because there's no long drawn out get together in an animated series. So you're already on the ship flying. Which of the three of you is the pilot? Should we do a not it?
I guess I'm the pilot.
I mean, you, the
Yeah,
player,
that
have
sounds-
experience in such
Sounds
things. So.
sensible. Or maybe not. But yeah, go for it.
Cool. So our choices are to go to Karadef and then straight shot it to Eliad from there, or to backtrack to Travanen and then take a route from there. Is this I turned to Kim, I'm like, is this like a urgent request, or do we want to, take our time?
I think we should hurry, probably. I mean, she could be in trouble.
I think at the same time, Lucky's like, well, we should take our time. I mean, we have, things to do here. I need to clean up the ship, and we need to get ready for the next, for our next visitor.
Okay, I'll split the difference and find us a medium route.
Nice.
So I'm gonna take us to Travanen, and then to Mestra, and then to Eliad. So I have a map in front of me, and I'm going to use it. Although I don't see Mestra on the list of planets, but good enough.
You know what? Mestra will be there momentarily, and you can add whatever details you'd like.
And Lucky's going to start looking up, the names and of this person we're supposed to pick up, as well as, the planet Iliad and the D-word planet Draknar, whatever it is.
You bet.
Dazak.
Dazak.
Well, that's weird. You can't. I don't know how to remove the. There's a link embedded into the cell that I don't know how to remove. Oh, I'll get it. That way I cheat. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Well, somebody put it back. All right. There we go. Sweet. So Mestra now exists, so we can add details as we want. So you are headed up to Travanen and then over to Mestra to bounce up to Eliad. That sounds amazing.
Mestra is the bad part of town.
Bad part of town.
That's all I've got. I can come up with the details. It's a bad idea for us to go there. So that's where I'm taking us.
Awesome. So Travanen is your first stop. Just kind of drop with you guys, refueling. Travenen's a moon orbiting a gas giant in the Travanen system. It was during the imperial days. It was the capital of. That's where the governor of the Minos cluster resided. Everyone who lived in Travanen was attached somehow to the imperial facilities and the garrison that was stationed there, and all of the refueling for the fleet that patrolled the Minos cluster. And once the empire was broken, Minos cluster was freed pretty quickly, and the imperial forces left Travanen just like up and bivouac, just up and Diddy Mound left. And the people that were left behind in Travanen, the rest of the Minos cluster considered probably rightly so, collaborators, people who profited off the ills of the empire. So as you guys arrive, it's like a spaceport and something like 60% unemployment. It is bad off outside of the spaceport, because it is still right, like it is the entry point for the another sector called the Elrude sector. So there's a lot of traffic that comes through, but it's almost I don't know, Anders, what you would like analogize to in Europe, but it's a little bit like a long stretch of road in the middle of desert and one gas station that has a whole lot around it that is extremely profitable, but everything outside of that is just decrepit. That is the way that we have drawn this. So you can actually see, maybe there's like a pan across, and you see this gleaming and beautiful spaceport with all kinds of Imperial artifact and that Duracrete design, but then everything Imperial has been sandblasted off and replaced with like New Republic insignias and the like. The Hummingbird is parked there to get refueled. There is, and I'm not sure who would be interested, but there is a semi-famous bar here. Give me just a moment, as I cannot remember the name of it, but I'll be able to tell you momentarily. But the idea of the bar is a themed bar where within the bar itself, every table rotates at a slightly different amount. So everything is spinning. Not all of them fast, but a couple of them. If you sit at a chair, the chair will spin unless you can stop it from doing so. It can be a little annoying for some people, but others find it delightful. Other than that, there's just the spaceport and accoutrement, like you can get food, you can get clothing, that kind of stuff.
Can I say the guy behind the bar is a hut?
He is a hut. That is a great thing to say. I'm a fan of a hut as a bartender.
Can we say he's like a teenage, a young hut? Not like one of the big ones, but like a smaller slug. Yeah.
With pimples.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, is he like Zitz the Hut? Is that the worst?
And his voice breaks every so often.
Wow, this is so good. I am a fan of this idea, friends. So who do we cut that's leaning on the bar when Zitz the Hut says,
What do you want to order?
So totally Lucky is like, asking for something. And I think one of the things about this bar is not only do all the tables and chairs spin, and Lucky's totally into this, by the way, but I think they put like a little thing in the cup so the drinks spin too. So there's basically like a little vortex looking thing as you drink it, and often it'll splash. So whenever someone goes to drink it, it'll splash around and stuff. And so Lucky's like, looking at the specials, and he's like, give me that. And it's this like blue and pink swirling concoction that, is probably more of a frou-frou drink. It looks like Hawaiian Punch, right? It's like a Hawaiian Punch equivalent of Star Wars drink.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
The bar is called the Grand Design. And so you get a spinny drink. Should it be called the Tilt-A-Whirl? All right.
Now.
Got a Tilt-A-Whirl. This is good stuff.
There's a real life radio station in Seattle that has a show on weekends called The Vortex. And you can, they upload their shows every week, and you could just have that be the soundtrack for this bar in the future. They're listening to the Vortex on C89.5. Anyway,
Oh, sweet.
I'll send you a link. You asked us who was there. Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to do a cool Star Wars reference. I just don't know enough about Star Wars.
I'm now listening to this channel you have suggested, so I'll just link it in case other people want to have it going in the background.
Oh, they actually and they have on their anyway, whatever. What's something cool?
So Computer
they-
Hacker, Computer Hacker is currently playing.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah. They have that band in the cantina, but they're not playing. Like they're drinking at the band, like the Muppets or whatever.
Are you talking about the band that in New Hope, or the band that was doing the really lively musical number in Return of the Jedi?
I must be thinking Return of the Jedi. Then.
Okay, cool,
Slice
because they were
Noodles?
playing at Jabba's palace, and they're awesome. That's Max Rebo, right?
Max Rebo, yeah. And the lead singer was Slice Noodles.
Slice Noodles. Who?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Slice Noodles.
Pretend I said those words then.
You did. I'm excited because I have a Max Rebo band poster right over here. Trust me, I'm just pointing towards it. I'd have to turn off my green screen and everything.
They're slumming it. They're slumming it in Travenham.
Max Rebo's in Travenham. That's awesome. They're headed to a real gig because they're just here, and I think Slice Noodles, she's probably got like one leg up over another chair. She's just leaning back. And remember the Ortolan, the big kind of elephant dude, the big bright blue guy. Oh yeah, that's a great pick. That is actually what I have. That's my poster. But yeah, the crazy elephant guy is like, I want to, yeah. He's just kind of chilling. He's got this big mug, and his snout goes into it to drink, right? So you see the liquid going down, you hear these slurping sounds. That's fun. I like it.
That's Max himself, I think.
Yeah, I think that is the Ortolan is Max Rebo. Yeah, that's great.
At this bar, they're just playing their new stuff, right? At other places where they have the fans, they might play classics, but here they're just playing their new stuff to try it out. This is an experimental.
Oh, I think Kai, didn't you say that like they're not even playing, they're just chilling? And there's
maybe they were playing, but
right now they just finished their gig. Nice.
Yeah, we just missed it.
Cerulean Fantel. Wow, you guys are awesome. I love this stuff. Sweet. Yeah, so this is where they're doing B-sides, experimental stuff. There was a part where Psy did this like scat thing, and then it went on for so long that Max just walked away from his little horn, like no music was playing, it was just a drummer, and Psy kept scatting some like extemporaneous story, and people were like into it, but people stopped dancing, and some people got confused. Other people went to the bathroom. Psy's still going, his lips kind of hovering out as it would. And then finally they came back, and Max Rebo brought it back, to stole the show away from Psy, and then they ended it. They're currently a break. So you guys arrive as people are in that frenetic high of like, we just saw an awesome set from Max Rebo, and now they're pumping in the music of the loudspeakers of something called Computer Hacker. There's a Rasta style song. Yeah, you guys just missed the cool party, but there they are. They're just hanging out. There's like little velvet rope around their particular area where they're seated at the bar. And Lucky, you got your cool rotating drink. And I think Lena, you're nearby, and Zit says,
Do you know what you want to drink? There's a menu.
The player cannot stop laughing inside their head. Where you found that voice thing is perfect. Um, uh, um, I think I order something that's in a long glass, like a champagne glass or something like that, but it's got some, the effervescence makes the strawberry or whatever it is just spin around as you drink it. Straw optional kind of drink. I'll order that.
Okay. Well, one of the strawless strawberry surprise spins coming up.
And then he slugs his way over to start mixing up your drink. And soon enough, he breaks it. It's like the berry is spinning, has some kind of weird gravitational property to it. It occasionally sloshes out on the side. So I'm curious, in this animated version of our Rhodian, Anders, do you imagine that Kim could drink with her fingers? Because there's suction cuppies, but is that a possibility?
I have no idea. I didn't know that. Oh no, I think they drink with their mouth. Yeah,
A
yeah,
wild proboscis mouth. That's fun. That's still fun.
yeah. It's like
Nice. So the three of you are hanging out. I guess all three of you are at the bar when the music is still playing for everyone in the bar, but we, the audience, hear that music kind of fade off, and we hear like this weird riff on the Imperial March. It's like a little Rasta version of the Imperial March that mixes relatively well enough with the song that's currently playing, but it's definitely something as bad is coming. And the three of you, there's a Trandoshan. It's a big lizard man dude's like Bosk, Trandoshan comes up and he shoves his way between Lena and Kim and kind of shoves the two of you, like parts you, even though you're at stools, just kind of parts you out of the way like you don't matter. And he stands 6.5 feet tall, and his chest is the kind of width that is like huge. It's just gargantuan. He's a big, beefy Trandoshan. And says, "Give me one of those Strengaski gargle blasters." And Zitz says,
Oh, okay. Sure, coming right up.
and the Trandoshan turns his head and looks at you, Kim, and then turns and looks at you, Lena, and he reaches up and he kind of pats your head, Lena, and says, "Oh, there are horns under there. Are you embarrassed of being a Zabrak?"
They slapped its hand away.
Nice.
And don't confuse style with shame, is what they say.
Nice. Trandoshan says, then grabs you by the shoulder and throws you about 6 feet away from the bar, right into, I don't know, like a Wookiee. And like the Wookiee drops you because it didn't see you coming. What do you do as the Trandoshan turns and starts to walk towards you? Is that fashionable?
Okay. That's not where I thought all of this was going to go. And what did they do?
Hey, I could have called Spaceport Authority, guys.
Yeah, I'll stand up and I'll march right back, and I mean, this is a comedy, right? So I'll go and try to kick him in the crotch.
Nice. He was turning to like sit on your stool, but you get his attention and you want to try to kick him in the crotch. That sounds amazing.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. I forgot how the game works.
It's okay. You're going to roll a d20 and add one of your stats. It sounds like you are tackling a problem head on and head first. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. You're rolling with Moxie. So you're going to roll a d20 and add that 3, but you also roll a d6.
Got it. We'll start with the d20.
Okay. That is this was just a tricky thing, so you are definitely able to land the blow, and you get a standard outcome. It turns out that Lizard Man got nards, as we hear like the ding, someone ringing a bell as you connect, and the Lizard Man he crumples to his knees and then slumps over onto the deck. What do you do after that, Lena?
I take my drink and I throw it in his face. Or its face.
And after you do that, I think the Wookiee that you fell onto like walks over and grabs the Trandoshan by the collar and starts to try to drag him out of there. Because Wookiees and Trandoshans don't really like each other much anyway. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. That happened.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then then Lena's like breathing really heavily and like, holy shit, did I just do that? kind of thing. So they're looking around for Kim and Lucky, and they're like, I come up to them.
I think Kim has ordered up a replacement drink to support yours on the kind of.
And I think Lucky, hops down off of his stool and kind of pads over where the Trandoshan is being dragged out. And as he passes by Lena, kind of puts one hand on her shoulder and with the other kind of, directing them to the stool that they were in. And then Lucky follows up, at the same time as going to the Wookiee and starts talking to the Wookiee a little bit, like, did you see that? That was great. I mean, you've got a Trandoshan. But what you don't, what the Wookiee doesn't see is with the other two hands, he's picking the pocket of the Transocean and pulling out some cash, and then the other pocket puts the wallet, the empty wallet, like into the Wookiee's bag or something like that. And then, if all that's okay, do you want to roll for any of that? Okay. And then Lucky comes back and steps up to the bar where the bartender is and puts some of the cash up on the board, up on the table, and says, sorry for the disturbance.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Good kick and stuff, and yeah, I'm gonna wash up the bar.
Lucky, after you drop off those creds, maybe there are a few calamari flan among the creds there. You see that there's, again, we don't know if there's really paper in Star Wars, but in the animated version of Star Wars, you find there's like a scrolled up piece of paper that was in there. Maybe it was folded over once, and when you unfold it, you see that it's a wanted poster, and it has a rather attractive human female on it, and it says that their name is Larsay.
Okay. What other information does it have, real quick?
Oh, well, last known location, Eliad, and it gives like a particular area in Eliad. The wanted amount is wanted dead, no crimes listed, and the credits to kill this Larsay are significant.
So I think that Lucky takes one hand and puts it in front of Lena, and then kind of says, "We got to go soon," and then the other hand brings it over in front of Kim and is like, "We got to get on the, we got to get on the ship and radio ahead."
Okay. So Selena drinks the shot that Kim got them, shakes their head, and they're like, "Yeah, let's go do it."
Oh, I think I was saying Lar. It's supposed to be Farse. F with an F. I mispronounced it. So I was going to grab the pic of the person since you have the wanted poster and realized, oh, whoops. So yes, Farse. And I will share that pic in just a sec.
I think inside the bar we see the spinning tables and stools and everything, and we see the cartoon like puff of smoke as we all kind of head out, lickety split. Yep.
Sweet. Here's a quick, just so you have the visual. I'll move it into your NPCs tab in just a moment. This is Farse, the human female who has a significant bounty, like lots of zeros, more than you're going to get paid for saving her. Because, processing fees and stuff. So, you guys hop onto the hummingbird and take off?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, a game set in this bar would be fun. You're not wrong. I'm tempted to go grand design the RPG. That's what we'll do. We'll make it a belonging outside belonging. No, we're not going to do that.
I'm liking this better as a cartoon. Yeah, than a live action.
I think it does work a little bit better.
Yeah.
Glad you're digging it. Sweet. Cool. So I've added Farse to the NPCs tab. So you've got her there. And I think you said you wanted to try to get a bit of information about Farse. Now that you got a pick, somebody want to, maybe we'll just say that there's some information you're going to get. The information you easily get without a roll is that Farse is the black sheep of the Sei Corporation. The Sei Corporation is this family-owned Zaibatsu, very large, multi-discipline corporation that's got its hands in a lot of different areas. She is probably most well known for competing in the Tour de Minos, which was a recent race, starship race around the Minos cluster, where she finished in the top 3. But yeah, she's considered the black sheep because she's constantly getting bad PR for poor decisions and relationships with various troublesome aliens.
So yeah, I think that Lucky does what he would normally do whenever they're going to pick up a VIP, which is make sure that he knows enough to know about what they would feel comfortable with, what their accommodation should be. But I think there might be a little bit more that he's going to dig into since he has a wanted poster and, is looking to know more about what's going on.
All right, cool. So let's have you make that roll then. I think the difficulty here is to try to find out more than what is already out. I'm going to call it tricky, specifically because she's such a public figure that everything's known and they always point back to it. It's kind of like that celebrity that's only known for that one hit. And that's all you ever find. Your Google hit results are 12 million and they're all the exact same article. So that's why I'll call it tricky.
Okay. And I think this is probably Wiggles.
From an angle and with your wits versus smarts. Sure. I'm into that. I can see that.
Would be friends if you're talking to other people, I think.
It could be, but let's see how that looks. So I rolled a 9. Let's roll my 1d6. I got a 5.
Okay, so if you rolled a 9, I said it was tricky.
Yeah, so
Sounds
it
like you
fails.
failed. Is that right?
Mhm.
Okay, sweet. So we will, and then you rolled a 5 for the impact of it. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Sweet. So we're gonna up the heat, and here's the information that you are able to uncover. Farce is currently live tweeting her capture by a Black Sun noble family. They're currently on Eliad. And yeah, she's begging for help. There's like video capture of her right now, like on the feeds. Guys, like all they give me is water and like bantha steaks. This is the worst. It's the worst ever. So anybody save me and I'll like totally love you or whatever. So, yeah, I think you guys were headed next to Misha. Is that the Mersha?
Estra.
Mestra. Wow. How did I like? What was I smoking there? Mestra. Which, if I check my notes here that were provided to me, the bad part of town, except a whole planet.
Yeah.
Nice. The Mestra system contains one of the largest asteroid fields in the galaxy. There are no official planets in the system at all. However, there are a number of asteroids that are populated. It was thought that all the planets that once made up this system were blown apart long ago in some ancient war. Whether this is true or not is open to considerable speculation. The legends of the asteroid miners speak of ancient alien artifacts of immense value found in caves on certain asteroids, if only you can find it. They call it the Big Haul. There are minor gangs here. Luckily, they're all over 21. So, the hummingbird. Sorry.
Would you say the most powerful of them are major minor gangs?
Yes, major minor gangs. That's awesome. I'm writing it down. Yes. Yes, that's the kind of silliness that I need. Sweet. So Mestra system is controlled and managed by Minos Mestra, a corporation specializing in mining and large-scale manufacturing. At least that's the official story. But of course, major minor gangs really run the place. That's what makes it such a broken down, hellish bad part of the cluster. Sweet. So you guys take off from Travnin, trying to rush your way towards Eliad. When you're heading through Mestra, and of course, this is a thing where you realize, hey, so many asteroids, you cannot just hyperspace out of here. It's very challenging. And if you're trying to travel through quickly, Lena, I think that we should, are you not, you're still piloting, right? I think we should put that up to a roll. Are you going to run into any trouble? So here's how I'm going to set this difficulty. If you get out hard, right, then you skate through here quickly with no problems. But if you just get tricky, then a tricky success means that you can make it through the asteroid field without the hummingbird taking any damage, but you're going to run into something. Now, did we make a ruling on help? Because I don't think this game has it. I always try to make sure if I have a rule for helping people.
What is it we decided?
I'm down for like rolling with advantage with help.
Yeah, I thought we did something like add an extra D6 or something like that. Like you could affect the severity, not the roll or something like that. But
Well, I'm not opposed to whichever way the group wants to go. Do you want to say help affects let you roll advantage on your D6 or I guess what that would be called, the cost or complication, or do you want to roll with advantage on your success or failure? What do you think, Stephen?
So it makes more sense thematically that we would it would help with the success or failure, because it's not like someone's going to try and help, and not try to succeed. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember what we did last time.
I don't think anybody can help me though, because what I'm doing is contacting an ex of mine and using friends.
That's great. That is how you're going to tackle this problem. That's delightful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. D20 plus 2. Got a 10. Got a 10. Don't know what
Okay.
that means. And then
that's a total of 10 with your additive. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means that you got a tricky difficulty. However, it means you're going to run into something here in Mestra's system. So tell us a little bit about this ex of yours, Lena. Who are they?
I don't know. Let's take a look at this species helper you've got.
Okay.
Because I don't know Star Wars. Oh yeah. There was a brief fling with a Togruta.
Oh, nice.
It says that they are pack hunters, so I can imagine that's why they're in the gang, so in the mining area. They used to work for Black Alice, but that gig got too dangerous.
Right. Cool. So do you want to grab a name for this Togruta?
Yeah. Names. Oh, there they are. Yeah. Ashla.
Ashla? Like, is it
Yeah.
Ashula? How do you spell it? You want to drop it in chat? Are you?
Yeah. I'm just using the first one on your list. ASHLA. Yeah, thanks, Kim.
Sweet. And so thank you. I think I'm gonna ask Kim, according to Ashla, why did things not work out with Lena?
Ooh. Let's see. I think it's her temper. Not that they fought, but I think Ashla got annoyed that Lena got into she got into a fight with someone at a party, and it got a bit out of hand, and that was kind of the thing that made Ashla decide that this isn't working. I can't be with someone who's getting into fights at parties.
Sweet. So that's why Ashla. That's why Ashla actually broke up with Lena. That's good. That's good. And then Lucky or Steven, has Ashla moved on, or are they still seeking the right, less violent kind of person?
So just to make sure if I understand, basically what I heard was that Lena got mad at someone else, and that there was a fight, and that's what Ashla had issues with. Is that right? Good. That's exactly what I thought. So I think what it is the someone else is some of the gang members that Ashla's involved with, and Ashla still pines for Lena, but the gang members would see that as a betrayal.
Ooh. So obviously Lena got into a fight with some of the gang members. And Lena,
My infamous
what did
temper.
yeah, what is it that pissed you off about this gang member?
Let's see. Oh, they said that all Zabraks are Siths.
Wow, the old. Ooh, that's rough, man. All Zabraks assists. The dang. I mean, that's not true. No, not
Well,
anymore.
I quit the temple, so
Right. Is that why? Was it that? Was that what really got you? Is the fact that you actually went to a Sith temple?
That must have been it. I was working at the temple. I went to this party, and they're like, that's just proof that you're all Siths. And I was just like, I'm quitting. I can't stand this.
But you got into a fight before quitting. Yes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's great.
I love it. I love this character.
This is good. It's good. Lena, so you're piloting along and you see a point where the asteroids start to like part, and then there's just clear space beyond it. When you catch a distress signal call from a couple of Ashla's major minor gang, as they have evidently run into a bit of trouble. They're not describing they're calling SOS, wanting some help. Now I'm questioning the other question I have is Ashla. You used Ashla for your role. Did Ashla give you some like coordinates to help you get through the asteroid field? Is she aware that you're here, or they? I don't know. Did you give gender pronoun?
I don't. Whatever gender. It's fine.
Okay.
I thought the idea was, since the asteroids are always shifting,
Mhm.
you have to keep your maps up to date,
Mhm.
and anybody
So
coming from
Ashla
outside,
said you.
if they, yeah, I don't know if we have to role play that or not, but like that, I would be like, hey, I'm in this area. Can you give me an update? And it was probably like a, screw off, but here you go kind of thing, or
I hate you, but I don't want you to die.
yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, nice. So Ashla knows you're in the sector and you get that distress call. If you ignore it, you guys are free and clear. You can make your way to your job much more quickly. But Ashla will know that you ignored the call. What do you do?
I turned to Kim and I'm like, Kim,
Yes.
these gangers, they don't like me. I think this might be a trap. You're really good at hunting. What do you think? Are we being hunted, or do they need actual help?
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. I think Pen is going to. She has installed on the ship some communications scramblers and trackers and that sort of thing. Because I have my deep pockets. So she's going to check the signal to see if it's been bounced around or if it seems to be a genuine distress signal.
Okay, that sounds totally cool. I'm going to say that
think-
it's tricky, right? It's mostly tricky to rock a rhyme that's right on
Yeah.
time.
But I'm not sure if this is actually pockets. I think it's more like wiggles, really.
Sure, you're trying to be clever about it.
Yeah.
Dang. If you want to make a pockets roll,
yeah, but
to give yourself a
but then
benefit.
Yeah, but I think the hunt applies.
Okay, cool. So you need a 10.
Yeah, and I need
So you're gonna roll 2d20 and a d6, and you're adding your 1 from Wiggles.
So I do change. So I get 2 dice, right?
Yep.
Correct. You get to keep the best of the two.
Yeah,
Nice.
and that's a 19, so 20, and the D6 is a 5.
Ooh, a 5 is you gain a benefit. It's legit. You even get a benefit of maybe you pick up a signal from a cam where they're trying to broadcast a bit of signals bounced off a bunch of asteroids. You do the like enhance, right? You enhance, and all of a sudden it like zooms in, and you're able to see that they're in a large freighter that evidently an asteroid had like slammed into the side of it. And so there are some people in vac suits that are trying to seal things off, but it doesn't look like it's going well. And their distress call is legitimate.
Yeah, I think they're going to die if we don't help them.
Shit. No, Kark. In my version of the cartoon, they actually said shit, and they turned to the camera and they're like, "Sorry, Kark." But that's just my version.
I like that version.
I kick it off to the SOS then.
Sweet. So Lucky, let's catch up with you. You've done all the study that you can on Farsay. You found out there's like a bevy. She did a cooking show for a while until like in the later episodes before the show went off air, she would show up more and more high and drunk. Which the ratings went up, but still it was canceled. It's weird. But yeah, you know exactly what Farsay is into. You will be an excellent host. But it turns out that Lena and Kim are not taking you to Eliad. They're headed back into the asteroid field that you guys just left in Mestra. What are you doing?
So I think that I was getting things ready in the guest quarters, and because space gravity, whenever we swerve back towards into the asteroid field, I get thrown off kilter, and I think I actually brace myself with one hand, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? And I might work my way back up, and I'm like, why aren't we going to get the customer? I mean, where are we headed?
These miners, they've been hit. We've got to help them.
Hit by the pirates? Hit by the gangs?
Hit by an asteroid.
Oh, what's going to keep us from getting hit by an asteroid?
My good piloting skills.
And I think now the camera zooms in and we see Lucky's eyes roll a little bit. That sounds great. How close do we have to get?
And then
Close
I
enough.
think we cut to like they're on the speakers. You've come back and they say, hey, we just need some help right now with and that's when you guys come close enough to where we see the large freighter. And it's like, if oh my God, I don't know why. Yes, I do know why. I've recently run Lady Blackbird. You guys are the owl. This thing's like, half of the hand of sorrow. So it's like 50 times bigger than you. And there's a asteroid-sized hole in there. But as the guy says, we just need help from you guys getting this thing off of us. And that's when out of the asteroid you see, remember in Empire, like big thing comes out and gobbles up a couple of the guys who were trying to tried to weld closed the giant gaping hole in the ship. And I think that's when we're dun 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 dun, and we cut to commercial, which is our break for bio break.
Yeah.
So we come back to, as we talked about off camera, An exogorth, which according to StarWars.com is just called a space slug, but we're going to go with the Wikipedia version of an exogorth that evidently lived in the asteroid that hit that large freighter, which seems to be eating people as they try to repair. So you hear from the bridge crew that they just need somebody to get this space slug, because they're miners, they're going to call it a space slug. Get this space slug out of our hair so that our guys can finish up their repairs. Holy crap, Ralph McQuarrie did a concept art for the Exogorth. That's awesome. Sorry, doesn't matter, but I'm going to link you guys to it because it's dope, because it's Ralph McQuarrie. That picture is so cool. All right. So Lena, being the pilot, you now see an Exogorth / space slug. I'm not going to say that again very well. A number of miners, and it seems that what they want you to do is deal with the Exogorth so that their people can finish their repairs, because they are in trouble.
Huh. What does the computer tell me about exogorths? I'm guessing next to nothing.
Exogorths, also known as space slugs, are members of a silicon-based sentient species that reside in the hollows of asteroids.
Huh. Okay. Oh, Kark. Kim, have you ever hunted a space slug?
No. I know they have a lot of hearts. They have multiple hearts, and they're very big.
May I step in?
Of course.
Oh, awesome. So I think that Lucky hears the computer say something about sentient space slug that eats minerals and that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Like, he steps in and goes, "It's hungry, right? We just need to give it food. It doesn't care about the people. The people are trying to take the big dinner away, which is the ship. So how about someone look up and see if they can't find a mineral rich part of the asteroid or something like that?" And if
Okay.
none of you think you're good at it, I can give it a swing.
So we're DoorDash now.
Yes.
Let's
DoorDash.
do it.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's
Exogorth
absolutely do that.
DoorDash.
We're back to gig working again. I'm into it. No, we're probably Grubhub. Slug Grubhub.
Slug Hub. That's awesome. That's amazing. Slug Grubhub is the best thing. I am into it. So it sounds like the first step is find a mineral rich asteroid that is not far away, and then do something. So I don't think it's a roll to find a mineral. You plug in a couple bloop, 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 bloops, and boom, boom, boom. Nearby, there is a mineral rich asteroid. Now that you know that, Kim, Lena, and Lucky, what do? I think it's maybe the size of the asteroid that the Exogorth is currently residing in. What do you want to do?
Push it.
Can we maybe? Oh, can we like blast? Because I assume the asteroid is too big for us to like tow it or something. But maybe we can blast some
can
part
try
of it. Yeah, I mean the slug is bigger than our ship, and it's inside an asteroid. It seems
That's a
What?
great idea, Kim. How about if we blast at it, trying to loosen up some of the materials so that the minerals are available, and then we can use the hummingbird as bait to get it to go towards the asteroid.
Bait.
That sounds workable and extremely dangerous.
Well, they don't pay us it for nothing. We are getting
They're
paid
not
for this,
paying
right?
us for this. Our payment is an improved relationship between Lena and her ex and their ex.
So the person that contacted us,
Mhm.
I'm going to send over a standard bait contract,
Yes.
a boilerplate, you know,
That-
payment to be determined.
Yes.
And now we
Yes.
get hazard pay, y'all. Hazard pay.
That's clever. The bridge crew are all looking at it and they're like, oh, it's like, just skip the EULA. Okay. And then they
Cool.
sign it. They digitally transfer it back to you, even though that's not a Star Wars thing. It's the animated version that people will bitch about for 30 years. That it broke canon. It's totally Legends. Yes, you now have danger pay as a writer into this crazy stunt that you want to pull. It sounds like this is a piloting thing. You're trying to lure it away, which is great because that's predicated on the idea that the space slug can make the asteroid travel where it wants, which can't possibly be true in Star Wars, but must be true based on our logic of the animated Star Wars action that we're performing. That is great. The space slug is dragging along. It's maybe it emits something, space gas. I don't know. It's great. I'm into this. I think this is pretty dangerous, right? The chance of things going wrong here, I'm going to call it hard.
It's almost epic.
You know what? You've made your case. This is our first epic roll of our 2-shot. And this is pretty epic. Are you going to convince an Exogorth and save a giant minor gang, a major minor gang? Will owe you life debts, probably. Totally. And also danger pay.
Well, I'd like to see if I can help the piloting with this. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to see if we can't use one of the ship's weapons to drill into the mineral deposit on this asteroid in order to entice the slug.
That's totally a cooking idea. That's so great.
And I was going to say, how about, I remembered something. Did we say that if the helping roll succeeds, it lowers the difficulty? Like from, I think in the last session we said, like, if it was epic, it would lower it to hard or something
Oh
like that.
yeah. That's what
we did do a thing like that I think
Yeah.
we did like extended action. I think that's fun. Extended
Yeah.
action, and like the first one is just to make it easier. So
Yeah,
let's have you do that. That sounds
Okay,
I love
familiar.
that.
Yeah, let's do that. I should write this stuff down. These are
write that
good
down.
thoughts we have.
Okay, so I am going to roll this with friends because I think I'm trying to make friends with the space slug.
I
Okay?
love it.
I didn't see that, seat of the pants or anything else worked real well. So let's roll that. So that would be a 19 and then a D6.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a 6.
Sweet. Yeah, I think that this is probably like hard to attract his attention. You successfully do that. You got a 6, which is an extra benefit. I think the extra benefit is that the major minor gang is aware of the dangers of what you guys are doing, and I think if this is okay because it's Lucky that's making the roll, but maybe this is a thing where Ashla is on the bridge and like, wait, play that back. That's Lena. Damn it.
And I think what we see is like Lucky works on a little missile, and it goes out like a torpedo tube and hits the other thing. We don't see anything for a second, and then we see an explosion with like this glitter material kind of spewing out of that part of the asteroid.
And there's like that. Oh, I can't remember what movie it's from, but it's that orchestral, like we see the glittery stuff moving across, and then the space slug is like munching on some other miner who is trying to do stuff, and then its head pops up and it's like and the space slug's head turns, and it somehow the asteroid starts moving towards the thing just a little bit, but then it turns and it looks back, so it's interested. But you guys are going to have to do something more. This is where it's going to take some tricky piloting.
Well, luckily,
Yes.
I'm a great pilot. Oh wait, no, I'm
You
not.
are this episode. You're the best pilot of the group.
Okay. Okay, so I put up I pull up on the video display next to me, like the rear view mirror. And I'm basically like making sure that the mouth, like I'm not going too far away from the mouth, but that I'm not, getting eaten by the mouth either. And so I'm watching that. And how, I guess, it's just pure moxie at this point.
It feels Moxie-ish.
It's also idiotic, so it goes with my smarts as well.
Oh man, if only you could work a droid into this, but you're currently going after a hard difficulty.
Okay. Okay. I don't think I can bring a droid into this. I didn't really describe anything. So
I'm gonna backtrack it in. We'll like put it. This is post-production. We can edit some stuff in.
So back where we were before, I take some of that money off of the bar that Lucky put down as apology money.
Okay.
And I get the last parts I need for like a navigation droid. And so it's been sitting beside me ever since we left the last the grand.
All right, you have to make a resistance roll for the stress for that one. No, I'm joking.
I can roll pockets.
Roll pockets. Yes.
Okay.
We'll call it because you're narrating and I gave you permission. We'll call it easy, but I'm curious if this D6 is going to cause some problems down the road.
Got an 11 on the roll.
Nice.
And a 1 on the D6.
Yes, our heat goes up. The stakes are crazier. I love it. This is the perfect time for that.
Okay, so now I've got a droid, so I can roll 2d20. All right.
Yes.
So I'm trying to hit 15 on a D20 plus 3.
2d20 plus 3.
Yeah. Best of 2d20 plus 3.
Yep.
Yes.
That is a 20 with that 17. That droid helped out. That is great.
A 2.
Yes, the stakes are getting even worse. This is great. Love it. Sweet. And it just means stakes for future. So you are still very successful here. I think it's a thing where like the hummingbird gets close, but it's this space looks, he has to get really, really close. And then all of a sudden it tries to snap at you. You just out of the way. And then you lure it. Somehow we see like puff of gas or something from behind it as it is expelling something to make it fly through space, and it's coming after you, chomping, and maybe we like pull back, and there's like a Pac-Man homage for a second as the hummingbird looks a little ghosty, and we see the like glitter bits that Lucky had that caused to happen, and then you whoosh out of the way and it chomps down on the asteroid. and it starts just cookie monstering away. And then we cut to the bridge and we see Ashlow waving at Lena. And yeah, it's so like, Lena, when you're back in town or the asteroid field, look me up, okay?
Okay. The video signal cuts. I'm like, no, no.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. And then we like cut, and it's whatever guy Lena had gotten into a fight with at that party is staying there, and he's like, that's not gonna work out. She says, no, I believe it's gonna work out. It's like, no, that's not gonna work out. And then the hummingbird is taking off. Anything you guys wanted as a scene before we cut to you arriving at your final destination at Eliad? Cool. Eliad was once the planet where Emperor Palpatine exiled many of the nobles from the core worlds. These nobles joined the Alliance to restore the Republic after they were exiled, a number of them, not all of them, but some of them, and funded the Alliance to restore it helped to fund the rebellion. Now Palpatine's dead and gone. He was in the Death Star and that blew up after he fell in a hole. He's definitely gone. Like he's never coming back. And so a lot of the nobles have packed up and headed back to their abandoned mansions or palaces or the like, but not all of them. Some of them are still maybe fixing affairs, and like turns out that there is a Black Sun noble family that is located on Eliad. And you guys know this because you're watching the feed as Farsay is narrating. This Black Sun noble family has captured me. Please, 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 someone come to save me from the Prax. And Prax are Prac multiple. So, well, I don't know if there would be would there be a possessive, or would it just be, I think it'd just be Prax. It wouldn't have an apostrophe. You wouldn't know this is my native language, but it is. You wouldn't know that I'm the son of two teachers who would be hating me if they actually watched me on YouTube, but it's true. It's true. They're retired now, so I don't think, I think English changes. It's like an evolving language. I'm sure I'm right somewhere. So, Lucky, what happened the last time you were on the planet of Eliad?
I was picked
Are you
up
like a
by,
chef for one of these guys?
I was picked up by some of the Imperials. This is back whenever Palpatine was alive. And I was made to work in their kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't like a chef. I was like a dishwasher.
Oh man.
They were like, you've got to be really good at washing dishes. You've got all those arms. It must be great. So that, and it was just drudgery. And then whenever Palpatine was completely killed, that's whenever the Imperials were like, oh, we need to leave. And they headed out, but they stiffed me.
Oof. Man, what was the species of the person who ran the kitchen at the time?
As I go over to your handy species helper.
I love that species helper.
Oh,
it's so helpful.
It was a Ratataki.
Ooh, a mean old Ratataki. So I'll now look at the names. Chef Baxio ran the thing where you got stiffed.
Oh, and I think he's probably still there. Like, I bugged out, but I feel like, Baxio's a lifer. He's going to stay here forever.
Oh, of course. And now he's moved on and is obviously the head chef for the Prax. I mean, of course.
So, as soon as they say, "Oh, help me, the Black Sun," I'm looking up Black Sun packs, and Baxio's name pops up. I'm like,
perfect.
Shit. Yeah.
Curses. Chef Baxio.
It's under a magazine title that says the best meal you'll never eat, because he's only going to be feeding the Black Sun people, right? And but it's like, you know, the best chef you'll never get to experience. So that's how you know he's working for.
Envy. So perfect. Chef Baxios. We have him in our NPCs and places now. Delightful. Former hidden chef who's stiff. Lucky. Sweet. So the Prac compound is located on Eliad near the main spaceport, mostly because that makes it easier to bring in illicit goods easily. What is your plan for helping to spring Farce?
Plan. I don't know that word. Plan.
Fair. What do you
So
want to do?
I'm like asking.
Sorry, go
everybody,
ahead.
What do we do? I'm just asking everybody, what do we do?
Can we see? I think while they were doing the space slug thing, I was watching this live tweet video feed and trying to figure out, like, where is she being held? Is she like in a bunker deep underground, or is she in a tower or something? Like,
She's got to be
what
in a
kind of-
tower. Got to be in
Yeah.
a tower. For sure. Help me,
Yeah.
I'm in tower 2685. Because there's a lot of towers in Elliot.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most straightforward approach would be to pilot the ship to the tower and break in and try to. I mean, you can hover in place, right? You can keep the ship steady.
Sure. Right? You can do that thing.
Well, yeah. But you know, what's the name of the company? The Yen? What do we call
Yen
it?
Corp?
Yeah.
Yen Group?
I'm like, aren't we kind of invisible? I mean, we're just delivery people, right? I think we can just walk our way in.
Ooh, yeah.
That takes some moxie.
I like that. Yeah.
Are we cutting to you guys trying to walk in without getting caught by Black Sun?
Yeah, and we've got like a small like a hover sled thing, like a food cart. That's so we can bring her out again. You know.
Oh, I'm into this. Cool. Who is leading this attempt to deceive?
I think I will, and I'm going to place a call into Boxio, right?
Mhm.
And actually, no, I just know Boxio's MO, right? This is the places that he hires. So we need these kind of outfits. These are the kind of people he hires. So we're going to go in this way. And, you know, I know, they don't change their ways. We're going to go in. We're going to just join up with the rest of the workers. Lena, you're going to be a waiter. And I'm going to be underneath the cart, hidden underneath the cart that Kim is pushing.
This is great.
And I think we have like little ear communicators things. So I'll feed them lines if they need to talk. Like, oh, this is the boss. You need to back down on him. But that's this guy you can push around. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
and
so
we've got like our gig uniforms, but we put on like a chef's hat and something like that.
You have the little yin group insignias and on your coveralls, but you put on chef hats. That's awesome. Pushing one of those tables with Lucky hiding underneath.
Even better, since we're a cartoon, Lucky isn't underneath. He's going out in the open, and he's changed his uniform, but he has on like glasses, and then two of his arms are kind of folded down behind him, so he's not as obvious, about what he is. He's kind of in disguise.
And listen, that Armenian disguise works every time, even in the
right.
military. That's wonderful.
Big
that
fake mustache.
Yes, the glasses have a fake.
But the cart's important because that's where we're going to be hiding Farce.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
Yeah, but we're bringing food in the cart. Like that's what we're bringing in.
Yeah, we literally find the delivery truck that is delivering the food, and we literally load up our cart with legit food to go in.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's no way this plan can go wrong. I don't think we need to roll for this. This should just.
This was a great plan.
Yeah.
I'm on board with this plan. I think what we have is you guys start to head, and you've moved through and you blustered your way past a couple sets of guards. Now you can hear the clinks of plates and glasses and the like, and the sound of steam from the various cookers inside the kitchen. And then a Gamorrean comes up and blocks your way. And the Gamorrean, of course, is
You give food. Me want food.
because you guys are, you've pulled off the kitchen thinks he thinks you're straight from the kitchen. This large Gamorrean, we'll say he's like one of the taller Gamorreans. He's like 6 feet tall, like 1.7, 1.8 meters there. And he's reaching forward. He like grabs the cloche. I think that's the word.
And it's
wrong.
He pulls that off, and it's like vegetables and fruit, real disappointing for a Gamorrean, right? And as we see his downcrest face, I step up and pull out one from underneath, and I open it up, and it's like barbecue kind of stuff. It's
It's got Gamorrean pepper rub on it.
It's Gamorrean for what?
Gamorrean pepper rub. Because we determined
only rub.
Only rub.
And that's like, and that's not even a roll. You have successfully dissuade this Gamorrean from stopping you guys. And now I assume you're going to take the lift up to the tower.
I think we should first drop off the food at the legit place, and then pick up some of the prisoner food. Like she said, they're only feeding me, was it water and bantha steaks?
Yeah, water and bantha steaks.
So we're literally picking that up, and like then we're gonna rub like dirt on us and everything to make us look like we're the grungy prisoner food delivery people. Yeah.
Awesome. So we cut to you guys coming up the top of the lift. There are a couple of guards who are stationed at the doorway. There's it's a tower, right? So there's got to be cool windows. And the guards are standing there. They're in security guard uniforms, right? While this is the Black Sun, they generally look legit to most folks. If only to say, what? Black Sun? What are you talking about? We're so-and-so corp, and these guards see you guys coming towards them, to see the food, to see the grunginess, and then you hear ching, like the sound of glass breaking, and you see this like hole appear in the chest of one of the security guards, and his eyes get wide, and he drops down, and then you see another blaster bolt come through the glass and hit the other guard right in the head. He falls to the ground. No blood, because Star Wars. What do you do?
Lucky hits the ground. Like all four spread eagle, just
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! We're just the delivery from the kitchen.
Awesome. So you guys are playing like we're the kitchen. The tower window breaks open as you see this very large Trandoshan come swinging through. He's got a sniper blaster rifle. Evidently, he'd done something and like shot both of those guards. Some highly aerobatic maneuver. He lands on the ground and he's headed towards the door. He's got the sniper blaster rifle, but he's sliding that over his back and he's pulling out this vibro sword. And he goes, stay back. And he hasn't recognized you, Lena, because of the hair. He mostly knew you by the hair. He's got a little bit of face blindness, Trandoshan thing. And you've got the taupe. Is that the chef hat? I think it's called a taupe. All right, where does day calendar paying off? But he's headed for the door with a vibro sword. He like sticks it in between the two doors and like and zips between so that he's breaking the lock. He's intent on going in there and killing Farse. And thinks you guys are just, peon workers, gig workers. Where's the lie? What do you do?
I think. Oh crap! I can't come up with anything better than just ramming him with a food cart, and I think we can do better than that.
If you don't mind.
Yep.
Lena, originally frozen, starts getting angrier and angrier and angrier. You can see it on their face. And they say, "You are not taking my tip." And tries to grab the Trandoshan by the collar and pull it back. Throw it just like it threw me.
Nice. I love that. I think that it's hard, right? You're basically trying to defeat a Trandoshan. We won't go blow for blow. Like, you do this, you've thrown him against a wall. You've definitely made your point.
Okay. So 1d20 plus 3. See what
I think as these blows are happening, Lucky is on the ground kind of squealing.
Nice.
Oh, so close. So close.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. Okay. I'll put this to a vote between Lucky and Kim. Is the failure that Lena grabs the Trandoshan by the collar and rips their shirt off? Or is it that it's a grab to throw you, but Trandoshan turns and tries to throw Lena and they both get thrown into the wall opposite the hallway? Or third option, if someone has a much better.
Yeah, I think Lena goes to grab the collar and throw the Trandoshan and ends up kind of on his back because he's too big and too strong, and he like moves back to slam her into the wall, but maybe that doesn't quite connect, so it's not. I mean, they're struggling, but Lena's up on his back basically.
Okay, so it's quite a struggle.
Yeah, and so I'm like, Kim, grab a blaster. Like, the guards have blasters, right?
Right.
You hunt, you shoot. Like, grab a blaster. That's what I say before I get knocked into the wall.
Yeah, I'm going to. I like have a blaster, but it's just a stun blaster because we're going undercover. Can't have any. They probably have like weapon detectors or something, but this is like a minor thing they won't care about. So
Okay.
I'll grab that and try to hit only the Trandoshan, but who knows?
Nice. I think that is tricky. right? Shooting two
Yep.
people in the middle of locked into combat is going to be tricky. So you need a 10 or better.
Yeah. This is probably Moxie, I think. It's
You're
like
definitely going head up on this. Yeah.
so let's see. D20, 2, D6. Oof, that's not good. That's 9, but a 6 on the D6.
Oh man, a 9? So close. So very close, but still. Fail. Yeah, I think Lena. I don't love you getting shot, so I think I don't like you only getting shot. I think you both get shot, right? It's a thing where you hit the Trandoshan in the gut, it goes through his gut and hits Lena. Lena, I'm gonna have you, just because we haven't even touched gumption, no one's ever taken harm. We're gonna have you take a couple, right? Like you get shot. It would have been worse, but there was Trandoshan armor that you had. It was relatively effective. And then the Trandoshan like falls to one knee. Just, his tongue comes out and it kind of like slobbers on your face a little bit there, Lena, as he's falling over. It's probably going to kill him.
Oh wow.
What do you do?
I searched through its pockets for that spray that it might have, and
Oh, it
like-
turns out that somebody stole everything you had.
we didn't steal everything.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
the
Lucky-
Wookiee did.
Yes, right. Lucky took
okay.
nice stuff, and the Wookiee took the rest. So he doesn't have any spray.
Well, then I'll check my pockets for the spray.
Oh, roll pockets.
Yeah, cool.
I don't know
That's my
why I wanted to
difficulty.
make a point that he'd been robbed, but there you go.
But
You've got
get it.
pockets.
I love it. A 9, which is not good enough.
I mean, I think it's you either you got it or you don't. I didn't set a difficulty. Now I feel guilty. Because if I say it's hard,
it was a 10. It was tricky. It was at least tricky.
tricky to have a med back. I don't know. That feels.
Well, if it's easy, then I hit it.
Yeah, we'll say it's pretty easy. Like, who wouldn't have a med pack?
Okay.
No. All right. Yeah. Cool. So you got a thing you can heal a gumption.
Not for
That is-
me. For it. I don't want it to die.
Oh, that's so cute.
So actually, I have a suggestion. What if we flash back to the ship and we're like, oh yeah, she might Lama Say might be hurt. Let's be sure to take this back
Lama
to spray.
Say.
What is the name? I'm sorry.
No, I love
Farsay.
Lama Say. It's now Lama. No, it's Farsay, but I love
Farsay.
Lama Say. It's
Farsay.
great.
But we only have one use, right? So make sure it goes to her, and then we see Lena whip it out and use it on the Trandoshan.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think it's a thing where it's not going to heal him all the way up, but it will keep him from dying. And his little eyes kind of open up, and why do you do that?
Because I'm not a carcole like you are.
That's hurtful.
Does
Whatever.
anyone? Do we want more out of that scene?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think
Okay.
that's the thing where he passes out, maybe.
Well, I was going to say, I think Lucky then comes up behind and smashes the cloche and the panel together to make a big sound over its head. So and then it drops. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's a cartoon way of doing it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Got it.
Perfect. And then the doors open up, right? Because remember, he vibroed the doors open up, and we see like this little. You guys remember the little camera bot things from the prequels that like followed around? Okay, yeah, one of those. It's like hovering, and Farse's again recording her pleading and live streaming. Someone's opened the doors, she says to the cam as she's live streaming her escape. I think we're going to escape now. Oh, thank you for coming to rescue me.
Come with us if you want to live.
I do. What's the escape plan? She comes out into the hallway and she's looking around at the two dead
Lucky.
bodies. And
Lucky looks up, sees the camera bot, and kind of grabs it and says, and switches it off, right? And it was like, you know,
what?
it was like, we're not gonna tell Black Sun how we're gonna leave, are we?
The
But
secret escape plan is a lot less secret if you tell everyone about it.
how? Well, but if I don't tell anyone, how are they going to know? Did you think about that?
You can tell everyone afterward. Doesn't it make for a good story? It's called suspense.
Okay, it sounds like you're
Anyway.
trying to convince her not to live stream this anymore.
Yeah, I'll do that. So what do you think that's with?
It sounds like are you trying to be friendly? I think it's easy, right? There is some logic to this. She's not that dumb. Okay, she is that dumb, but there is some logic to this.
I think I'm trying to be friendly.
I think if you want to roll with friends, that's cool. Otherwise, you're trying to be Wiggles. So I'll let you choose.
So that's a 21.
Oh, nice.
Right?
She says, okay, I'll record it, but I'll turn off the broadcast mode.
That sounds great. And I think I then pick up the uniform. Or I pick up the guard that has like a hole in his chest. And I start taking off the uniform and putting it on her.
She's like, I'm sorry. This doesn't go with my hair.
Oh, great. So I turn to Kim and I put it on Kim. So it's got a big hole, right? And then I think the other guard, the second guard, we put that on Lena. And then we, and I pull the shackles off of the guard, right? And I put them on her and we're going to pull a Chewie, right?
Oh, nice. I've heard about this move. It's very popular, I've heard. I'm into it.
And then I'll take the two blasters and the vibro sword, all that weaponry. We'll put it under the cart, and one of them can push the cart and one of them can take her.
Yeah. And then she leans over to you, Lena, kind of leans into your ear and says, my safe word is Carabast. And then you guys will lead her to the lift, and then
I think I'm
now
leading
going-
her,
sorry.
so I can kind of position her in front of the hole in my uniform for cover.
That sounds great. I am very much a fan of this. Cool. So I think let's put to a roll if you successfully exit the Black Sun's complex without any further troubles. I think that this is, I'm going to go with hard. It's not epic. It's not like you're going against a freaking space slug, but it's not easy. So who's leading the roll?
I think this is Lucky's plan. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll totally do that. And what do you think this would be with?
Well, what do you think is controlling most of the idea behind your plan?
smart.
smarts.
Or it's
Um,
Moxie because we're basically just marching straight out.
I think we're going by the seat of our pants. There was no plan to steal the guards' uniforms or anything like that, and the original plan was to bring her in, take her out on the cart, and taking her out as guards is a completely different thing. So I think I'm going to roll with Moxie.
I'm into that. I think Moxie is good.
And there we go. Hey! Oh no. For a second, it was like 21, and I'm like, ooh.
Oh, but you
Missed it by
rolled the two
one.
dice together.
Yep, I missed it by 1.
Oof. So good.
And then let's see what the 1d6 is. It's a 2.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, sorry, that's
We-
terrible.
We hit orange heat.
You hit orange heat. Here's what happens. You guys are making your way out. You see the doorway ahead of you. Like there's a long hallway. There are guards. There's like a guard at a desk, right? And you're passing by this lift with a couple of guards, and you see it ahead of you, right? You just need to get this prisoner out of here. You've told these guys, you've fooled them, and then the door opens up, and at the end of the hallway, pushing one of the carts, looks exactly like your cart, close and everything, hurriedly, like desperately trying to get whatever is in this back to the kitchen, is Chef Baxio. And you are made lucky. Right? That's the failure. Is like he looks up. What are you doing here, Arminian?
And I think Lucky is going to immediately run into him and bowl him over, just as cover for the rest of them.
And he's like, guards, stop this Arminian! And you're heading towards him. Sweet, give me a Moxie roll to get out of here by the seat of your pants. I'm gonna say it's tricky right now, but I'm also gonna say you guys are each gonna take like one gumption due to getting shot at by blasters.
And do you want us each to roll them?
No, I
getaway?
think you're leading the way.
Okay.
You can make the roll.
Okay, and that's going to be roll that.
Good luck.
Ooh, it's a 21.
Wow.
And then the D6 is a 2.
All right. More complications. I love it. What does it look like as you bowl him over with just going crazy here?
Yeah, so I think I grabbed something off the top of this cart that we're carrying. Like I'm going to get away with it. And I run at him, and I pull the sheet off. That's what it is. I pull the sheet off that cart, and underneath there's all those arms, right? So that frees it up so everybody else can grab weapons. And I run up to him, and I toss the sheet over him and wrap it around him and kind of push him down. And he's still screaming and struggling under the sheet, but the guards are coming, and we have to kind of shoot our way out to get back to the ship.
Oh, that's awesome. It's totally the like running towards the Millennium Falcon, firing behind you moment as you guys are headed towards the Hummingbird. You're successful in it, but things are getting worse.
And I think that Farce is totally doing like is it Ruby Red from The Fifth Element, where she's
Ruby
narrating the
Rod.
whole thing and screaming and like ah.
Yeah.
I'd like to narrate something if I could.
Please.
Okay. As we're getting out, I tell everybody, I'm like, go get the ship. Just go get it. And I turn around and I do the only thing they taught me in Sith Temple. And that is like to stand your ground and fight off whoever's coming up against you or whatever. Kind of like what happened in the prequel, right? Like it was the fight around the hole or whatever. With the it's just me and a blaster, and I'm just like, this is what they taught me to do. So
And it's the Sith Temple, right? So it's what guys like, but I have the high ground. And you shoot him anyway. That's great. Oh man. They must have changed it. Oh, this sucks so bad.
I'll take some extra gumption out of
That
that.
sounds awesome. They must have removed it. So at one point, this voice modulator actually had a setting called Ruby, and it was basically the Ruby red. I was like about to throw it in, but they've evidently removed it, perhaps because it was literally called Ruby and it was just doing Ruby. So, oh well, imagine that, friends. In your head is this Farsi is grabbed along, and the voice the little droid, cam droid, is capturing all of the excitement. So we take some more gumption, and then you guys pile onto the hummingbird to fly out of here, to get out of Eliad. Now, purely because we have a little bit of time, and because the heat level is in orange, I think that you're going to be pursued by the Black Sun. Have a couple of starfighters. We're going to have some, like, cut to you guys out in space, and you're being pursued by kind of a predecessor to the X-Wing. They're called the Z-95 headhunters. They're easier for the Black Sun to pick up and maintain. Even though they're pretty old, they're still starfighters and worthy of making you scared. So there are, we'll say, a pair of the Z-95 headhunters that are giving you guys pursuit. Lena, you're looking rough, right? You took a couple of shots. You've lost some gumption. You're almost dead. So dramatic.
Right.
Does the hummingbird? I think the hummingbird's got to have like a turret, right? This is Star Wars. You've got to have more than one person be able to do extra things. So who jumps into the turret, and then who's handling other stuff?
Lucky is handling navigation.
Ooh, navigation. You got to plot in the hyperspace coordinates so you guys can get out of here.
I think I'm going to plug it in because we want to, while I'm doing this, I'm telling Lena, we have to lead these guys back to Ashla, right? They owe us.
No,
Yeah.
no. Bad idea.
Is that Lena saying that, or is that?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
Lena.
Kai or is that Lena?
Okay,
That's Lena. Yeah.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure.
Kai's all over it, but Lena's like, no.
And I think it's the debate. There's this, like, we see this arguing in the background while Kim is trying to shoot, right?
Sweet. All right, so I think what we'll do is we'll start with Ken the Hunter. As you're in the turret, you kind of put on the headset, right? And it probably doesn't fit right because your ears are, it's made for human. So you've got to like angle it. And then the front part of the headset's kind of over one of your multifaceted eyes. And you pull up the targeting computer. And of course, it's like, the ugly 70s style of tech. But you can take a shot as a hunter here. This is your perfect opportunity. What is the mantra, or like the thing that you self-talk as you're trying to hunt one of these Z-95s with your turret?
Yeah, I think if Kem had been in her right mind, then she would be really careful and like tracking the target and leading them and that sort of thing. But right now she's just, they've nearly been eaten by a space slug. They fought a Trandoshan twice and all this. So she's just letting out all her aggressions and just maximum firepower.
Yes.
And just letting blast everything without any particular plan or finesse. It's
awesome.
Just, shoot
is
as much as possible.
Very Moxie. Very good. We're going to call this hard because it's just it's a blaster fight. It should be hard.
Yeah. It's like every 5 minutes I need to. I am going to say that the hunt applies here.
Absolutely.
2. So that's a 20 and a 4 on the D6.
Wow. Oh
18
man.
and 17 on my 2 D20s. So
That is dope. I think you definitely take one of them out to the point where the other one like skits away, has to dodge like crazy. And that is, if you'd gotten this a 5 or a 6, then you may have taken both of them out. But now the pressure is still on for our crack pilot. Oh, only known as a crack pilot because you're the only pilot, so you got to be a crack pilot. That's how they put it on the brochure. We have crack pilots. Farsace is still in the cockpit because, you know, she only rides first class, so she's screaming as you fly.
Can I
This
make a
is so
suggestion?
dangerous.
What'd you say, Lucky?
Oh, I was going to say, do you mind if I make a suggestion?
Oh, please go ahead.
I think the two of us have had that argument, right? And we just see on camera the two of us kind of say, "Great, it's a plan." Tell me if this is okay with you, Kai. Basically, we have shaken on it. We we zip in and we go back to that asteroid belt, right? And we see what I'm thinking is we rig up that droid, the recording droid, we pop out its video memory and plug in the ship's transponder and then leave it behind, but leave it nearby where that space slug was. And if we do a good enough job, then whenever the headhunter comes in, the space slug will eat it. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. But what I want to add to it, yes,
Please.
and
Yeah.
the tricky piloting thing that I want to do is I want to take all of that mineral debris that coated our ship, and is basically like ketchup for the space worm. I want to shake it off onto the Z95 to make sure that the Exogorth goes for it, because it's already got the condiment on it.
So we see like in the movie where like the ship comes close, not like it's going to ram it, just scrapes off this layer of mineral. Yeah.
I love it. I would love to see if you pay off on that.
Okay.
Give me a tricky roll.
Let's see. I think this is smart, so I'm going to roll smart.
All right.
So oh. I got a 9 because I used a negative modifier stat on it. Let's take a look at the D6.
Wow.
And a 2.
Oh, sweet. So your plan was to fly close enough for it to for you to be able to put some of the condiment on it.
Yeah.
And I think that the failure is that you also are covered in the condiment. Right. So the space debris glitter, super tasty for space slugs, Exegol approved, plus, 3 stars, would eat here again, is on both ships. And as you're racing forward, the space slug is confused. The space slug smells 2 tasty things coming towards it. And it can't decide. So, Lucky, what are you going to do as you realize what's about to happen?
Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is so I've taken the transponder for the ship and I've just jammed it onto this droid and put it out of
Absolutely.
space lock.
Yep,
And
that's fine. I stipulate that has happened. That's all
Yeah.
good.
and I think that I'm gonna have the droid get basically. Oh, I'm going to use the droid kind of as a decoy, right?
Okay.
And I'm going to use the droid just basically so that it thinks. I think I'm going to run it through the condiment as well, right? So it has two things, but I'm going to try and make sure that, maybe there's, you scraped off enough of the ketchup to get onto the other slice of the bread. Maybe this is the better one. And get that droid closer to where the headhunter is. So
Oh,
I think
that's
that's
cool.
what I'm going to do. Yeah.
That sounds awesome. Let's say this is tricky.
Yeah.
It's a good
And
plan.
I think this is off the top of my head, so this is definitely Moxie.
Yeah.
If this doesn't work, I have an idea.
Does this
good.
come in? Does cooking come into this?
I think so.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, but
Did you plan that? The condiment and cooking? That's crazy.
Me?
Either of
no.
you.
No.
So that's a 17 plus 1.
Okay, 17 plus 1's an 18, and it was tricky. So you are successful. Now, I am curious, as we're heading towards the end here of
Actually,
this particular mission. You had an
I'm sorry, go
idea,
ahead.
Kai? Is there anything you want to add in?
What I was going to say is, could we say that means it chose the other ship, but maybe Kai's thing would finish it off?
Yeah, what was Kai's thing?
So Lena's eyes go wide and runs out of the cockpit and back to their room, to that lock box, the locker box or whatever, foot locker, thank you, and grabs another device, an untested device, just like in the first episode.
Of course.
Runs to the engines and slaps on this giant wheel, and yells at everybody that they say, "This is about to get bumpy," and they turn. Basically, what they're doing is they're vibrating the ship, which will knock off all of the condiment. But I'm using the engines to do the. I'm basically making this ship vibrate, and the wheel tells me how much vibration I've got. So, I don't know. And
I love it.
so I'm going to spin the wheel and see if I can't not tear us apart. And I will roll pockets for a thing.
Oh, cool. Let's say that it's easy enough to have it.
Oh, okay. All right. Then that'll definitely be, I think that's Wiggles for acting on wit, right? Thinking of,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So all right. No. This does not work at all.
You needed a 5. You just needed a 5.
I love how many rolls tonight have been off by just one.
I
think this
know.
is like the fourth or fifth one tonight or today. Where am I? Daytime. Okay.
Have you checked off your grit when you failed rolls?
No.
Oh crap, that's right. You're supposed to mark grit and face the music.
Yeah,
and you can spend 5 grit to turn a failed roll to a success.
Yeah.
Dang it. I should have been telling you guys to do that. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't notice it until earlier.
I think I'm one grit off of the thing.
Sweet. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say as your success, or as a result of your failure, I'm going to give you an ailment.
Okay.
Just because we haven't even done that. And so,
right.
Yeah, take an ailment. What do you think is appropriate for Lena here? Are you shaken, stressed, frustrated, confused, frightened, or exhausted?
Well, I'm literally shaken because that's what I'm doing. Is I'm vibrating the ship.
There you go. You get shaken up. You lose a little bit, get a little dizzy, but your action, along with Lucky using the cam droid, as the poor little cam droid is just heading out, It's like,
I wonder what kind of footage I will find here in space.
the Camdroid says as it's headed towards the little space slug. And then the space slug opens its mouth and it says,
Oh, dental.
the space slug grabs onto the last of the Z95 headhunters and the Camdroid intern and Farse, aka Lamase, squeals excitedly, screams again. And Lena, are you in the cockpit, or did the thing that you were doing mean you left the cockpit and put it on autopilot? Like, where's Lena?
Well, I thought Lucky was in the cockpit with me.
Yeah.
So I left Lucky to the
All right.
stuff.
So she hugs you, Lucky.
And I think Lucky like puts 2 arms around her, and with the other 2 is still trying to drive away.
I love it. The forearm, good. That's a good bit. Sweet. So, looking at time, I think this is a gig that you guys are able to successfully deliver her to Dazak, which is a swampy planet, customary for Star Wars, that the whole planet is one big swamp. And Dazak is where the Say Corporation's headquarters are. So you deliver the black sheep home. Her family comes out and greets her, but of course there's going to be a scolding later. Older brother Karsay is thankful. He pays you guys. He gives you 5 stars ratings and even adds a comment, which makes it that much more powerful, So there you go. You're successful. Way to go. You guys, you're the best gig workers around. You get paid for the day. Congratulations. Let's do epilogues. It's a 2-shot. This is the end of our 2-shot. So I'd love to do, credits are starting to roll on the Space Aces miniseries, animated miniseries. So who'd like to go first with their epilogue for their character?
Okay. Lena gets home after this gig. Plops down on their bed. The next morning, groggy, shaken, they go to the kitchen table and they start looking at bills and bills and bills. And shakes their head and says, I can't believe I'm about to do this, but picks up their phone and dials Ashla. Yes. Can I stay on your couch for a while? I can't afford my rent.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's so great. That's very gig worker. Primo. Of course she accepts. Of course.
This is a bad idea. But yeah, that's what Lena does.
Perfect. Cool. Lucky or Kem would like to do.
I think what we see is whenever we drop off Farse at the swamp planet, and the family's so happy, I think we see, Farse's a little bit frantic in explaining what happened, and Lucky kind of smooths everything over, and I think the Say family is very impressed, and Lucky says, "Well, let me fix you something to eat," and suddenly he's like got a job there.
Oh,
And he's like,
nice.
oh, okay, that sounds great. And he kind of talks to the other 2 guys and says his goodbyes, and they head off while Lucky is off in the wind, right? Just doing whatever it takes to, keep on meeting new people.
I love it. That's so cool.
Yeah, and I think with Kem, we see like a person extreme close up like her eye to like a scope, and she's and then we see like what she's seeing through the scope, and then it cuts to Parse, and she says, no, more to the right, more to the right, and it's a camera and not a rifle, and Kem has been hired as her photographer for the to replace the droid that we shot into space. So she has to work off the debt for that part.
That's great.
One
Oh,
more
that's,
thing. One more thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
I was just gonna add one more thing. After Lena shows up back at the major minor group, we see a scene where the guy she got into a fight with is on the phone, and you hear this Trandoshan and him talking. He's like, yeah, they're here. They're definitely here. So the Trandoshan's going to get revenge, or try to get revenge on Lena. So
I think,
of course.
So I think that's the mid-credit scene, right? So the credits are coming up, and then they stop for a second, and we hear that, and then I think the credits finish out, and at the very end, the stinger at the end is we hear the little camera droid's voice in the dark with like lights going hello, that's echoing hello, and then maybe the spotlight kind of shines on a ship that's in there, and then it's very much in a cartoon kind of fashion. Yeah,
that's great. I love it. Yeah, and maybe the ship, we like hear some reggae music going and a little bit of smoke coming out of the sides, and that sounds awesome. I love it. That is our Space Aces game. Thank you guys so much for leaning into the silliness. This has been a delightful, wonderful 2-session zaniness. Anybody have let's do a quick round of stars, and then we'll call it an evening. Who'd like to go first, handing out some stars?
I can go first.
Okay.
I had a lovely time. I felt a little bit off myself, but I had a good time. I really enjoyed how this could have been a mission in a very serious, very gritty game, and we could have had basically the same things happen for the most part. But just the tone and such made it funny and amusing and a bit zany instead of dark and dangerous. And I enjoyed that a lot.
Good.
And thanks to Rich for running the game, because this was it was a lot of fun.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, so my star is actually very similar. It's that, this felt like a change in tone that was very welcome. I probably wouldn't want to do like 4 sessions of these, but 2 sessions felt just right, like a little dessert at the end. We're playing this really heavy, deep stuff, in a cartel or something like that, and then we get this zany little cartoon, and it just feels really good. I liked the voice modulator that you had. Even the voice modulator, the voice that you used for the contact at the very beginning sounded very much like the guy you'd see on TV selling used cars or something like that. It was very good. And I love the ideas that, where we could take all of this. I love the ideas of, what happened with Lena's ex and, all the stuff that people brought into it. That was great.
Cool. Kai, did you have any?
Oh, tons. So the map allowed me to like create stuff like where we're going, and I got to create an entire area. I was like, it's the bad part of town, and like I was able to do that. And like, I don't know, it just as a pilot or as a person, in my mental head, like I have no idea how far Ardlin is from Eliad, But the
Mhm.
map gave me this idea of like the vastness of it all. And I didn't just think about like, okay, we hyperspace to Elliot, like we don't, like we do this thing. And it was just, it added a whole bunch of flavor to it for me. And the voice you had for a teenage hut, it sounded perfect to me. Like that was the mopiest hut I've ever heard. I loved it. But y'all ran with everything I created. Like I said, like that band, and you're all like, yep, here's the band, here's the picture of the band. Y'all supported me really well. So thank you very much for letting my barely a Star Wars geek fandom like come out and do its thing. You were all very supportive. I appreciate that.
I laughed so hard. It was one of those where I had to force the laughter in my head, because I'm trying. I gotta keep this game going because this is so wild. But I really enjoyed the characterizations, the choices, the pure zaniness of what folks were doing. At times was hilarious. It was great. This was a nice change of pace. It was a good, refreshing bit of fun with you guys. So thank you so much for playing and giving Space Aces a shot. And with that, we'll go ahead and bring the session to a close and the recording as well. Thank you all so much.